Hello and welcome to Module 14, Case Study, Parental Apathy, and this is Jacqueline Scott doing Standard 7. Category 1 is Problem Identification and Analysis, and what do we know? Mrs. Rose just completed her Education Administration Master's degree, and she understands the importance of parental and community involvement. This is her first year at John F. Kennedy School as an assistant principal, and she has realized right away there's limited parental and community involvement. There is no parent-teacher or organization or parent-teacher association. And the principal has given up on trying to get the parents and community involved. He has put effort in the past, but he's only gotten negative results, so he's basically given up on that. The principal did agree, though, to hold a parent meeting. However, he was only going to have a parents advisory group. He was not willing to form a PTO or PTA. And then 8 parents attended the meeting. What do I need to know? It'd be very helpful to know a lot. And here are just some. So what are the demographics of the community? This includes socioeconomic status, population characteristics, community leaders' characteristics, local community groups, economic conditions, social tensions, etc. What is the school's vision, and did the community have any input on this vision? And does the school community know about it? How did the past parental groups fizzle out? Were they ever strong at one point? How did these groups contribute to the school and or school community? Do most of the teachers live locally or do they commute? What research-based strategies have been used to promote positive relations within the school community? And what were the ones that were successful and unsuccessful? What are popular community events throughout the year? And are other schools in the district experiencing the same parental apathy, or is it just isolated to this one school? Category 1, identify the problem. The main problem is the need to increase parent-community involvement and improve school-community relations. How to proceed with the meeting and the 8 parents that attended is part of the problem, but it's not the main problem. And you could even consider the principal's negative attitude to mend relationships as also a problem. But I think it all comes down to the main one. Category 2 is proposed plan of action. So first, I would continue the parent meeting with the 8 parents and have a very positive mindset that, hey, there's 8 parents that showed up, not 0. And so that's a good thing. Let's gather information. What do they know that would be valuable? And how are we going to grow these 8 parents to 16 parents, to 40 parents, and have that continual growth? B, gather input and information on the reasons for the lack of parent community and support. So do they know any of that information? And then C, ask for volunteers to join a school community relations task force, which is something that we will be creating to help solve this problem. Second, gather additional information from the school community. So first, I would have a staff meeting to inform the building staff of the problem and the action plan. Encourage participation of the building climate survey. So I'd let them know about the survey that will be going out and to highly encourage it. And then I would ask volunteers to join the task force or start thinking about who would like to join a task force. B, I would send out a digital and physical form of the building climate survey. So if it has to be a physical form, I would try to personally hand those out to the people that need them. I think a lot of those physical forms get lost if it's going through the students first. And that building climate survey should be going to all stakeholders. And it should specifically ask what the school could do to help parents become more involved, among many other questions. Third, I would create a school community relations task force to help solve this problem. This would be made up of groups of a small group of teachers, parents, and administrators. It should not be just the principal and the assistant principal trying to solve this problem alone. It'd be ongoing, so actively promoting parent involvement throughout the whole year, not just once or twice. The purpose would be to actively get involved with the community, gather information, grow parent and community involvement in relationships. And then D is form a systematic plan to increase parent involvement. And to do that, what community events can the school's task force join or help out with? Improve communication channels, social media plan, send out newsletters, maybe improve school website, send out emails, phone calls, etc. Strongly encourage teachers to call home to celebrate students' successes, and this could also help teachers make stronger relationships with parents. I would contact local businesses through this task force and hold parent events, dinners, classes, celebrations, and activities at the school to gather information and again continue building relationships. Category 3, resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. So this task force, eventually, these are the great things that would happen. There would be better parent representation at meetings and more parent volunteers to help in the cafeteria. This is something in the case study that the principal said there was a lack of. Through more parent participation, students will see that school matters, and it even might result in higher student attendance rates. Understand the effective channels of communication for John F. Kennedy School stakeholders. What do they prefer? What are the ones that are effective? So beyond phone calls and parent conferences, have more. And well-informed parents help students feel supported academically, athletically, and socially. Teachers receive additional classroom support. They don't have this do-all mentality like the case study was talking about. The task force could help get parents in the classroom, so it allows the teacher to have more hands-on time with students, maybe have individual one-on-one to small groups. And school will have a more complete and rounded idea of the needs of the students and families in their community. They may need to provide additional support like nutritional snacks or maybe even breakfast, Wi-Fi access, before after school care, and enrichment programs. Students' basic needs have to be met for any type of learning to happen. So if a child is coming to school hungry, they will not be learning too much or growing too much if they're hungry and not getting that basic need met. All right, and then bridge the gap between the school and community. The task force will help. There's a major gap, and they will help bridge that gap. The school community will share a common school vision, and parent community input is received and valued. And then hopefully a positive school perception from the school community enhances student achievement. Students gain opportunities to help the community through volunteering at community events, learning the importance of giving back, and the task force will create good school community partnerships, local businesses providing additional resources and learning opportunities for students that go beyond the classroom. Category 4 is debrief the problem. As I responded to the problem, I was thinking growth mindset the whole time. It's not an overnight fix. It's something that you need to just continue working towards. How to gather information to grow parent and community involvement is what I was thinking about, and just that focus on continual growth. I was feeling determined and optimistic. I had a problem-solving attitude because I think this is a very relevant case study that some schools feel like they're in, those types of situations where there's a disconnect. And I had an optimistic attitude when I thought about having a task force. I think it would be a great focus to involve the community and build that relationship. And then valuing teamwork and positive school-community relations. I was thinking team the whole time, especially when creating that task force. Again, the principal and assistant principal can't go at this big problem alone. They need help and they need more input and perspective. So the task force will lead a systematic plan, not only the responsibility of the principal and assistant principal, one of the school's top priorities, building relationships with key stakeholders. Category 4, identifying issues that are unresolved or open to further investigation. We really don't know the principal's view, openness, and participation on creating a task force. Will his attitude change to be more optimistic? We don't know. What are the main factors causing limitations of parent involvement and lack of community support? Specifically, what are popular community events that the school can get involved with and show that we care? The administrators, the teachers, the students, let's get out into those community events and volunteer so that other people see that and want to give back as well. Category 5, reflection on Category 4. Component 1, how did I as a building level administrator collaborate with families and community members to contribute to the school's success? I continued the parent meeting to gather information from the parents that attended. I analyzed and interpreted a building climate survey that was sent to the building staff, administrators, and whole school community. I created a task force focusing specifically on improving school community relationships, and this task force was made up of parents, teachers, and administrators. Task force collaborated and formed a systematic plan to implement throughout the year to promote active community participation and parent involvement. Component 2, how did I as a building level administrator respond to the diverse needs and interests of the community on an ongoing basis? I use input from the building climate survey to gather information on the needs of the community, the various perceptions, and their goals for an effective school community. I formed a task force that included key stakeholders, and they and we created a systematic plan that continued throughout the year. I attended and volunteered at popular community events to show support of the community and to continue to gather information. I held parent events at the school, including dinners, classes, celebrations, and activities. I provided additional support to meet students' basic needs: nutritional snacks, Wi-Fi access, before-after-school care, enrichment programs. I strongly encourage teachers to call home and have conversations with parents to celebrate student successes and to gather information through building relationships with them. I improved effective channels of communication through newsletters, social media, school website, emails, etc. Component 3, how did I as a building level administrator mobilize community resources to address and help solve problems in a way that supports the school? I reached out to local businesses to provide additional opportunities and resources for students. Students and staff volunteered at local businesses and community events to give back to the community. I improved school parent partnerships so that parents were more involved in the classroom, cafeteria, and attended school meetings. I created classroom parent helpers so teachers had more hands-on time with their students.